Hey, you guys. Happy Wednesday. So yeah, it's Wednesday. So I've got the covers all finished for my little mini journals, and I haven't decided what I'm going to put inside of them, but this is how they're coming along. Pretty happy with them. I did some inking around the edges and stuff, just sort of grunged them up a little bit. And so this is all of the, I don't know how many I have. I think there's about 30 or so. But anyway, so these are the basically tags that I cut from the collage that I did on the file folders. Okay. And so then I just kind of started going through other stuff and just looking for things I can use and use up. And I remembered that when I was cleaning out a couple of file cabinet drawers, I had put aside all kinds of like scraps, paper scraps, things that I thought would be useful to make into tags for journals. And so these are basically just offcuts from projects. You know, like if I had file folders that I was just cutting down, I always save the trimmings. And so I've just got a whole pile of a bunch of different things like that. Some smaller pieces of avocado dye and coffee dye, other kinds of papers where, it's just useful stuff. So I've just been sort of putting it all in one place finally. And so I pulled out everything that I thought I could use up for this project and some more to come. And then I used to do, I don't know if any of you guys ever did this, but what's it called? Oh, Zentangling. They used to Zentangle. It was kind of one of these things that I got into doing. And back when I was doing that, I cut down a whole bunch of pieces of like drawing paper and other kinds of white paper into pieces that I would Zentangle on, and I just had this bundle of them. And anyway, so I coffee dyed a whole bunch of that last night, and so I want to use some of that. One thing I wanted to tell you guys, in case you have never tried it, I like to use walnut ink crystals when I'm coffee dyeing. Say I don't have, enough coffee, or it's not dark enough, or whatever, I just sprinkle a little bit of walnut ink crystals into the water. It works really well if you dilute it in some warm water first. But this stuff is great, and it's permanent, and it's not. Sometimes like instant coffee will get sticky, and plus it doesn't really smell that great. Some people don't like the smell of it. So I like to use this instead. I will sometimes use instant tea, but if it doesn't dissolve all the way, sometimes you get these little sticky pieces that make your pieces like stick together, and the walnut ink doesn't do that. And it's nice and dark and grungy and cool. So anyway, so I just have those all bundled together. I mean, I even save these little strips to work with, to do something with. They're just useful. One of my favorite things to use for tags, for making tags as a base, is one of these guys, because I love this card that's in here. So if I ever see these in thrift stores, I always grab them. And I love that they have the little letters and stuff on the top, and sometimes they'll have like the months of the year or whatever. So, and there's lots of usable card in here, and I'll use these a lot of times to make journal covers with also. So I just wanted to show you, if you ever find these in thrift stores, pick them up, because there's lots of usable stuff in there. Anyway, so, whoops, just dropped something. Anyway, so these are pages from some other file folders. some of those like the medical file folders that you find sometimes. They'll have multiple pages inside of them. That's what these are. And it's just a nice weight of card, and I like the color too. So, and then, you know, just other random file folders. So that's that. And then I also remembered that I had a ton of flower, like botanical book pages. So I also coffee dyed a whole bunch of those. And so some of these larger ones I thought they would make nice envelopes, like large kind of oversized envelopes. So I'm going to try to make some envelopes with those, maybe to make like a little pack of tags or something to put in my Etsy shop. So I've got a whole bunch of those. Anyway, so that's that. So here's my plan. A bunch of these tags that I have cut down, I just want to back them with something pretty, you know, so something cool anyway. So I thought I would just use some ledger pages. And so I'm just going to glue these onto some ledger, and then some of this stuff just to, you know, kind of, as like I said, like Wendy says all the time, zhuzh them up a little bit. I want to just glue these onto some of these other botanical pages that I coffee dyed. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Some of them are like watercolor paper, so they're a little bit heavy, but a lot of these are actually just like thinner drawing paper. Decide which side I like. Just trying to use up what I have, you know. I haven't been using a lot of these book pages. I've sort of been hoarding them, and then I hoard them for so long that I forget that I had them. So I thought, okay, it's time to use those up. So I'm just going to go through and glue some type of card. Like this one I actually cut some stuff out of. I think that'll fit. No, it's a little bit too wide. About this one, yeah. Piece of a file folder. And I'm not worrying about how, you know, like the placement too much. I'm just, so that way it's almost like a surprise when I cut this out, what I wind up with on the front. So anyway, so just going to do that. I'm going to do a whole bunch of those. Obviously, I've got a huge stack here. Let me see some of these bigger ones. Some of these larger pages. Oh, so these, I actually want to, I'm going to tear off this, this strip here, because I really like that little, I love these little borders that are on those pages. And I thought those would be kind of cute to glue onto these pieces and just make some little mini tags, you know, little mini ones, just to maybe hang on the front of a journal as a charm or something like that. So I'm just ripping all of those off. I forgot what, I was trying to find the the cover for this book, but I can't find it. I know that I bought it on eBay, so I'll try to, it's just a really cool book, and it's super thick. There's just tons of pages in it, and this is like the last of that book. And I think I've actually purchased this book like 2 or 3 times. Anyway, so I'll just save those. Save those little strips. And then those almost fit on there. It's a little too narrow. There we go. These will fit. This is some other file folder. So I got the, finally got the French ledger packs shipped out today. I know it took me forever. I've told you guys before, oh, that one's too skinny. Can you guys hear Journey? He's so funny. When he meows, it's almost like he's... Can you hear him? Meow, meow. Sounds like he's singing or something. He goes like... like that. Anyway, I don't know what it is that he's trying to say, but it's really cute. It's funny how all cats kind of have a different voice, you know. Jimmy is super loud and he meows with purpose, you know. Like he'll come and tap on me and meow, and I always know exactly what he wants. Anyway, so that one didn't work out as well as I wanted, but that's okay. I can just trim that off, or maybe not. I could glue something else on the front of it. So that's basically all I'm going to do with these pages. I'm just going to try to use up as much of these as I can and as much of this pile as I can. And a bunch of that coffee dyed stuff too. Okay, so that would probably be pretty boring for you to just sit here and watch me glue paper onto other paper. So I'm going to set those aside for now. I have some other ones that I already did. Let me grab it. They fell off the desk. So, oh, and these are some of these that I actually cut a little bit too wide. So I'm going to cut these a little skinnier. Make them into some smaller tags, like tall, skinny sort of ones. Yeah, so I cut these, I glued these earlier, so they should be dry. So there, yeah. See, it's kind of cool. It's like a little kind of a surprise when you get everything cut out. And so, yeah, and so my hands are dyed with that walnut ink too. So sorry, it looks like I haven't washed my hands for about a week, but I promise you I have. So yeah, if you're going to use that walnut ink, I believe it comes actually from walnuts, like from black walnuts or something. And I mean, it's a dye, and it will definitely dye your hands. So if you're going to be putting your hands in it and you don't want your hands dyed brown, wear some gloves. Let me just cut the rest of these out. Anyway, yeah, Journey is pretty funny. He was about 7 months old when I got him, and that was the day after Thanksgiving last year. So he's a little over a year now. And he's probably grown about 50% bigger than he was. And man, is he a little lover. It's so funny. When he gets up on my bed or wherever I am, he just wants to touch me. Like he doesn't really want to sleep on me or be on top of me, but he just wants to touch me, like with his paw. It's really cute. He literally will just reach out and put his paw on me just to make sure I'm there or something. I don't know. It's really cute. I have literally turned into a crazy cat lady. I used to be a dog lady. At one point, my ex-husband and I had, right around 75 dogs, including puppies. And we bred dogs. We didn't just have them as pets, but yeah. We used to breed American Pit Bull Terriers. This was back, right around the time that people started hating them. And there was a group of people that loved them and a group of people that hated them, and they started banning them in all these different municipalities and things like that. And we started finding it really difficult to defend the breed, and constantly arguing with neighbors and fighting with people. And I mean, yeah, we had a lot of dogs, but we lived in an area where that was acceptable. You know, it wasn't like, anyway. So we just decided that raising kids was more important than raising dogs, and so we got rid of all of the dogs. I was kind of interested. So that's kind of a pretty little strip. I'm going to save that. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, being a dog breeder and selling dogs, and dogs coming and going through our yard, it made it more like, I don't know, it made it kind of difficult for me to become attached to them. Like it wasn't difficult for me to let them go, you know. Anyway, but that was 15 years ago, so I've kind of come full circle, and now it's a lot easier for me to really get attached to animals. So anyway, I don't think I'm ever going to have another dog though, unless I live out on a farm and they can live outside. Anyway, so some of these are like horizontally arranged, and that's okay. And then some are more vertical. Okay, so that's basically, you know, the base for these. Some of these, what I thought I could do is just cut them into small little tags, just to tuck into little pockets and things like that. And then I thought some of these I could also make into pockets to attach onto pages and things like that. So basically, I don't know, it's like cardstock now. And then the other thing I want to do is make some labels. And use up some ledger paper to make some labels. So I pulled out, oh my gosh, I pulled out a bunch of pages. So some of the ones that have a lot of writing on them and lots of numbers and things like that, I'm going to use for labels. This is all blank ledger. So this is what I think I'm going to use to back these tags, and also use as pages maybe in some of these little mini journals. So those go sort of off to the side over there. Just different ledger, you know. So let me cut these down a little bit so I can use them. Let's see, I don't know if this will fit. I don't know if this will fit in here. Sort of. Anyway, I just need to cut it down to a kind of usable size. Let's grab one of these. Here we go. And I want one that has a lot of numbers on it, like this page. And one more. This is from one of those giant ledgers that I got from Louise. Oh my God, it's super wide. Let's see. There we go. Okay, and that's just so they'll fit on my desk. All right, let me grab my stamps. So I've got these are my label stamps from Signet Stamps on Etsy. I bought a couple different sets of these from him. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I think I've talked about them quite a bit, but I will put a link in the description to his shop so that you can buy these label stamps individually. He will even make custom sizes for you if you want to. But then he also has like a set that you can buy, and I think it's maybe 11 different sizes or something. Even a little teeny tiny one. There's a little teeny one. I love this little guy. I have a set that are on wooden handles too, but so those are like a rubber stamp, the ones that are on wooden handles. And then over time, he decided to make some out of, what's it called? Like clear, clear stamps. Anyway. So I've just got a couple different red stamp pads that I like to use. And I also like to use blue. And sometimes purple or even just black. This is a Memento. The color is Morocco. This one here in the center. And then this blue is the Danube blue. It's a beautiful blue. This red geranium, the archival red geranium, is pretty. They're just different tones of red. This is the Stays On Blazing Red. So that's a good little selection there. So I'll just take one, you know, piece of ledger and choose a size. And then I'll just start stamping. I do like to try to make sure I get my lines straight. See, that's a nice red. That's the red geranium. So I usually do like one row of one size. This is a good size to use on tags. I like to use that size. And then let's do some blue ones. I love this blue. See, that one's crooked. Dang it. There we go. And then, you know, just another size and maybe a different red. Let's do some of this, the blazing red. This Stays On Blazing Red, so you guys can see the difference. It's a little sticky. See, it's a little bit more, it's a little more kind of like pink. I don't know if that's coming through or not. Let me see. Oh my God, my desk is just a wreck. Just tons of stamps. I mean, tons of labels. I like this long, thinner one. Let's try this red. This is the Memento Morocco. Oh, I remember why I don't use this one. For some reason, this ink, it's like, it really, I don't know what the deal is, but it smushes. It's like, it's too messy. Like, I don't know why. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here, but you can't see, like, you can see the inside lines really well on these other ones, but like this one, they just disappear. I don't know if maybe it's because the stamp pad is too wet, or I try not to press too hard. If I don't press too hard, it does okay. But like this stamp will work fine if I use a different color. Let's see. It's probably gonna, yeah, see, it works fine with this blue. I don't know. I don't know what it is about that ink. Maybe it's the pad. Who knows? Oh, what other sizes do I have in here? With this little tiny one. Anyway, so I'll just do that. I'm just gonna, you know, stamp out all those pages and just make up a whole ton of little labels. So I love this because I can just get all these cute little numbers on my stamps and little words and stuff. All right, so I'm thinking about a giveaway and to celebrate 10,000 subbies. And I think what I'm going to do is a set, like a pack of, and I think I'm going to do like 4 or 5 of them. I have some other label stamps. I've got like 3 or 4 other sets of them. And so here's what I'm thinking, and maybe you guys can help. I was thinking about splitting up those sets into, you know, maybe like, I don't know, 3 sets or something. So like taking one set and make it into like an assortment of 3 stamps per set, you know, and then do like a selection of ledger pages and things like that that you can make labels out of. And I could do like maybe 12 of those. So it'd be like a set of like three different sizes of label stamps and a bunch of ledger, you know. Or I could do, so I could do like maybe 12 of those as giveaways, or I could do like, I know I have at least 3 full sets of label stamps that are not used. So I could do either a bunch of smaller packs to give away, or I could do like 3, maybe 4 large packs to give away. So give me your vote in the description. Let me know what you guys would prefer. If I do, you know, larger packs or more smaller ones, you know what I mean? Anyway, I think I know what you guys are going to say. I'm leaning towards doing more of the smaller packs because I don't need all those stamps, and he sent me extras, you know, for me to use as giveaways and stuff. So that could be kind of fun, you know. If you don't have any of these label stamps, then, you know, that might be a good opportunity for you to grab some. There's some long, skinny ones too. I have this is a Tim Holtz one. This is kind of what started me down this whole trail of label stamps. Yeah, so there's a long, skinny one and then a shorter, skinny one that Bob has in his shop. This is the Tim Holtz one is kind of distressed, like it's got little pits in it, so it doesn't stamp perfectly. Anyway, this one I had to put on here kind of sideways. Let's see. I don't want to use this Morocco. Anyway, so these are kind of fun because you can isolate like a word, you know. There we go. Or a date or something. Anyway, so that's that. It's a fun thing to do. Just sit here and stamp out a whole ton of labels. Whoops. Let me put this away. And I've got a whole bunch that I've already done. Yeah, see, this is how they are on the, with the wooden handle. Okay. So I've got a bunch that I've already done and cut out. And then these are some, you know, like authentic, actual Denison labels. But they just, I don't know, they're just really cool with the ledger paper. And then let me grab, yeah. And then I love using these reinforcers. So just really simple little tags, you know. So I'm just going to trim these corners. Little tiny tags. I just think they're so cute. And let's do, wait, those are the sideways ones. Let's do some bigger ones too. I don't stress too much about cutting these corners, like if they match up exactly perfectly or whatever. I seriously just eyeball it. I just try to hold my scissors at the same angle, you know, and then it usually turns out okay. They don't have to be perfect, right? Yeah, so I knew I would find something that I could use as a fun giveaway. So, so you guys let me know what you think about that. And then hopefully very soon in a upcoming video, I will do that giveaway. We'll see how we want to do it. But so when I'm using these gummed labels, I like to have a very damp baby wipe, so I'll actually get it more moist than it comes out of the package. Let's see, I want to use some smaller labels on these tiny tags. These actually have adhesive on them, so let me see if it'll work. They're so old. Yeah, it looks like they're sticking. We'll see. We'll see if it lasts. I'm actually going to use a little bit of glue because I don't trust it. Here's another little label. I just stamped on a bunch of those little collage, when I scanned some collages that I did a long time ago, and then I just printed them out and stamped on them and made little labels. Sometimes I will print, I'll actually print labels on, you know, like sticker paper, but it's kind of a pain to actually use those stickers because it's really hard to separate the backing. So I don't know. I'd almost rather just glue them on. I just covered up the flower and the name of the flower with this label, so I'm going to move it down here. Wipe the glue off. And then on these larger ones, you can do a little bit larger label. See, I don't know. I just think they're pretty. Just like that. Just the coffee dyed book page, you know? I think it's so pretty. So you can really stretch out those ledger pages, those giant ledger pages. I mean, you can get a ton of labels out of those, right? Just putting those labels in different positions on the tag. They don't always have to be here at the top, although I do have a tendency to put them there often. Isn't this fun? Just gluing paper. All right, I just have a few more here. Let's use one of these labels. Let's see. Okay, one more. Might as well use that one. Actually, let's do this one that way. There we go. Okay. And then I'm gonna I've been using this little corner rounder lately because I don't know. The We Are Memory Keepers one that I have, the 1/2 inch side, for some reason it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't work very good. So if I want a larger corner, I've been using this one. This one's a, what's this brand? I don't remember. Oh, EK Success. And this is the 1-inch size. I think I bought these as a 2-pack at Hobby Lobby or something like that. I can't remember. But it was the 1-inch and the 1/2 inch too. So the 1/2 inch one obviously makes a much smaller corner. Yeah, little tiny corner. Okay. So that's that. right, and then I like to use this the swing line hole punch because it punches a perfect size hole for these reinforcers. So I put this little dot right there because you can't, it's like there's no indicator of where the hole is getting punched on the top of the hole punch. So I use it upside down, and I just use my Sharpie and made a little dot so I know exactly where it's going to punch. See, it's kind of a large hole. Anyway, so these I think I can do these all at once. There we go. See, I think I can do these all at once too. Let's see. See, the corners actually work pretty good. Like those are all pretty consistent. I've cut quite a few of those. So okay, and then just when I'm doing the reinforcers, I just kind of lay them out on the desk here. And then the glue that's on these is usually really good, even if they're old. And I like to use these because they've got that really cool, they're actually made out of like canvas or something. There's some kind of fabric. So I don't know. So they just have a neat texture. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see it? Anyway, believe me, just trust me. And then I like to do one on the back too. Just because. And then I use my wet baby wipe to kind of, you know, stick it down. And so I get it wet with the baby wipe, stick it on there, use the baby wipe to smush it down, turn it over, do one on the back, stick it down. Works pretty good. So anyway, so that's how I'm just going to make a whole bunch of tags, little ones and bigger ones, and use up a whole bunch of my scraps of, you know, file folders and stuff. And at the same time create a bunch of really cute little tags. So, and I will probably also do some stitching around the edges of these. I like to do that partly for decorative purposes, but also because if the paper starts to lift, I just don't want the, you know, the paper that I glued on to start lifting over time. So like if somebody is inserting this into a pocket in their journal over and over, I don't want it to accidentally start to lift that paper that I glued down, you know. So doing the stitching around the edges just prevents that. So plus I think it looks pretty. So anyway, so that's my project for the rest of today. Let's see how many I can get done. And then, like I said, I'm also going to do these guys. These are just the collage pieces. So I'll probably add a label on these. I might actually stamp some labels onto these and then, you know, just stamp directly on here. And then, I'm going to back these with some ledger pages, some ledger paper. That's going to make them kind of thicker, but I don't know. I sort of like that better than, I don't know. We'll see how much energy I have. If I feel like gluing each of these onto a piece of ledger paper, I might do some and say, you know what, it's just not worth doing all of these, but that's what I would like to do. It'll make them a little bit thicker, but I think it'll make the back prettier. You know, I like the back to be kind of cool. I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. And then with these little guys, these are just little strips of file folder. I'm gonna glue these onto these strips and try to center it. And then what I do, come on, I just want one. So I'll try to center it on there because I know that the flowers are like down the middle. Let's just do this. I think I could probably get 2 strips on here. So 1, 2. So I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll trim this out. And then I like to take these and run them through the sewing machine with a really narrow zigzag down each side. And then I'll cut them, I'll probably cut this into 3 little tiny tags, and then just punch a little hole and put an eyelet in it, and it'll just be a cute little tag to hang on the front of a journal. So anyway, so super simple. That's basically all I'm doing. I'm just trying to use up these little scraps of paper, and I love these little tiny flower images. So anyway, that's my project for the day. Okay, guys, I love you. Thanks for putting up with me. I hope you're all doing well and moving on to bigger and better things after life after COVID, right? Okay. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Love you.